Well,
Hey Charlie,
good,
how's it going?
good, man.
Recorded for the rest of the crew.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I
Oh,
prepped a little bit for the ranges and beefy and all these things.
yeah,
Yeah,
good.
I just been kind of in marketing mode for the past, 6 to 7 months, so didn't have
Right.
time to do the product thing and, too much customer support because, gotta get that money coming in, the
Right.
lifeblood of any business. But it's
Yes.
all good now. I cracked the code, so now I'm gonna shift back to the product side a little bit,
Awesome.
get you some good stuff. Yeah. So I thought you asked a question about the range. So
Correct.
was,
Yeah.
was that was that like clear?
Yeah. I
Uh,
love,
it's a little tricky in the beginning to kind of get your mind around it.
and the pairs, have with the pairs and stuff. So that's where I'm at. Because
Yeah.
with the glimmer, like today, glimmer's pretty much it's down again. And I
Yeah.
noticed with the Stella swap, everything pretty much centers around glimmer on most of the
Well, I mean,
pairs.
it's an official gas token on Moonbeam, so it's not
Right.
really StellaSwap. That's what you use for gas. So it's
Okay.
kind of like Ethereum, Ether. ETH is on
Right.
Ethereum. Glimmer is the same thing for Moonbeam. You pay
Gotcha.
all the transaction fees with Glimmer. So that's why
Okay.
kind of it's like the default, pair for everything.
Gotcha. Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Glimmer is important. Yeah, that's the official token of Moonbeam. That's what
Right.
they use.
Right. Yeah,
And
for
even though
sure.
it's really cheap compared to like Ethereum layer one, the fees are just like insane.
Yeah.
$30 per transaction. Like, come on
Indeed.
now.
I know.
That's literally the same price as like a wire transfer. I mean, come on. Right? Like, aren't you guys
Exactly.
supposed to be bringing in the revolution, beating
Yeah.
the big boys, the banks, the wire transfer fees, the SWIFT fees?
Right.
And here
Right.
you are charging the same thing. Like, really?
Yeah.
Like
I agree.
that's not really revolutionary of you there. Like, but I get it, I get it. They gotta make money and they have layer twos, so which are cheap. So I mean, yeah. Being facetious a little bit. You could go to like base and you pay like a couple of pennies there, so it's pretty much
Correct.
same thing as like Moonbeam now.
And did you see where Base has that moon well? Did you see
Yeah,
that?
yeah, that's a lending thing. Yeah, that's lending.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's not liquidity mining. Like
Okay.
this is just basically lending and borrowing. You just lending out your money to crypto bros that don't want to take profits, don't want to sell their position.
Right.
So yeah, I might actually do like a module on that or something, 'cause that's a whole different thing. That's a completely separate source of income. That's
Okay.
liquidity mining is like what we're doing. I mean, to be honest, I like liquidity mining better because it's more profitable, like a lot
Hmm.
more profitable. Because I mean, I guess it depends what like asset you're lending against. For example, if so you're lending against like DOT or Glimmer or something volatile, I'm guessing
Right.
the interest on those loans is gonna be more to kind of make up for that volatility. But if you're doing like stablecoin, which is most people are doing, it's like 10, 15%. I mean, I don't know. Let me take a look
Yeah.
actually how much it is right now because it's always shifting. So people ask me like, "Oh, what do you get on this? What do you get on that?" I'm like, "You do realize it's shifting literally in real time based on the TVL, how much money is in there, based on like, the volume, the trading volume, which changes the fees. So there's like four sliding factors that affect the APR that you're getting in real time." That's why I'm like, how exactly do you want me to tell you exactly what are you getting? And plus, it also like as you saw, it depends on your range. So the
Correct.
tighter your range, the more money you're getting, right? Because now your
Right.
liquidity is in that tight price range, and which is getting utilized more, so you're getting more fees and you get more. So it's like
Right. So
another factor. Like, come
so
on.
the tighter the range, the more risk.
Yeah, basically.
The wider
Yeah.
the range,
Well,
the
not
less
technically,
risk.
not always. If you're making a tight range on the stablecoin farm, there is
Right.
no risk, right? Because stable coins don't
Gotcha.
move. It's a dollar, a
Gotcha.
dollar, a dollar, right?
Right.
So I don't care how tight you make that range, unless that stablecoin depegs, you know. Well, obviously that's don't choose stable coins that depeg. Like, duh, don't do that. Like, if you choose like USDC, USDT, obviously they're
Right.
not depegging because they have the money in the bank. There's
Right.
dollars per token in the bank with a monthly audit. Obviously, it's in there. Like, which is actually funny enough safer than like normal banks, because they don't actually have the dollars in the bank
Exactly.
account.
I
Like people
know.
tell me, oh, these stable coins are risky. I'm like, whoa, wait a second here.
Yeah. How
So
about
a token that's actually backed verifiably with a dollar in BNY Mellon, which is a $2 trillion bank, right?
right?
You think
Right.
that's riskier than your money in like Citibank, which is
Yeah.
fractional banking, which doesn't have the money? Because
Honey.
yeah, try to get
Nine
20K.
times.
Try to get 20K out of your account, okay?
It's
I
yeah.
guarantee they'll be like, sir, you have to submit the request and come back in 3 to 5 business days, and we'll have that cash for you. I'm like, wait a second, so you don't have
Yeah.
my money? Like I'm
Right.
here. The picture
Oh, I
shows
just
I have 20 grand. I want that money now, like right now. Oh, we can. Oh, okay. So you're scamming me. All right. Okay, I got it. I'll
yeah.
come back in 3 days. Hopefully you have my money then. You know,
Right.
like
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm a libertarian at heart, so
yeah. I mean,
I
this
get
banks, man. It's
it.
like they're
I,
just bandits. They just legalized bandits.
I
That's who they
know.
are. I mean, in US, okay, it's not as bad as like outside of US because they do have to follow some rules, otherwise they get their asses kicked. And there's FDIC insurance, so
Sure.
for US, I can't really harp too much because they don't
Yeah.
like steal money in your accounts. Yeah, once they get out of US though, man, it's a wild, wild west. They'll do whatever the hell they want. It's like,
Mhm.
what? We took your money? What do you mean you had your money? No, you didn't. You had a picture of your money.
Right.
Let's see. The Moonwell launch app. Let's see what they got. All right. Damn. 23% on USD. Volt. Damn. That's pretty good. USDC Volt. 9.7 API and ETH. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, the APIs are high because it's bull market. So
Right.
nobody wants to sell their goods because they're all going up. So
Yeah.
they all want to take out loans against their, crypto. I get it.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so yeah, I mean that's another great option. It's like USD coin is like no risk. Here, let me share my screen so that people in the recording can see what I'm talking about. Hold on. Un momento, share. All right. All right, can you see it? Let's
Not
see.
yet. Oh, there it is. Yep, I
Yeah,
got
yeah,
it.
yeah, right here, 23% APY. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. But you can get the same thing with mining though. We have stable pools too, which is kind of same thing. But you can diversify though. It's not a problem.
Right.
Yeah, both,
Right.
lensing and whatever. Yeah, so I was
Right.
looking at this. It's a little of a mind twister, right? Like you have to kind of get your mind around the whole Stella per glimmer thing, right? Because a lot of people are
Right.
like, what does that mean? Like Stella per glimmer, this number. I mean, to simplify it, it's basically how much Stella do you have to exchange per one glimmer?
Right.
Like that's it. So and what that means is like, you're gonna need 3.6 Stella to get one glimmer. That's kind of the ratio, and that's it.
Okay.
And if you want to convert that into like prices, you could just go to like CoinGecko, for example, see Moonbeam, 30 cents, and
Right.
here's StellaSwap, see 7 cents. So
Right.
basically, it's 7 times 4, 28, 30, bam, there you go. Like simple as that. And then you just look at the charts, for example, to kind of see if they follow the same. Well, it's better to use one interface because there's CoinGecko, there's CoinMarketCap. It's a little different. But see, like for example, here's Stella on CoinMarketCap, right? That's the chart. This is the price right here in dollars.
Right.
And then there is Moonbeam, right? Same thing, price in dollars. And you kind of see that it's very similar, the path. See, when you choose 1 year, for example, or 1 month, but it's always better to go 1 year just to see like the, long term. And you see the chart here. That's a glimmer chart, stellar chart. See? Very similar.
Gotcha.
So that just shows you that they're correlated, basically.
Okay.
And
Okay.
there's also another little trick. If you go into DeFi Llama,
Yep.
yeah, right here. DeFi Llama, there's correlation matrix. So you can like select coins and basically the higher that ratio. I'm recording everything, so you'll get the recording on my
Okay.
YouTube channel.
Okay.
No need to take notes. You'll have
Okay.
this whole thing. You can check it out. Yeah, and basically the higher correlation means that the tokens move together price-wise,
Okay.
that they're
Okay.
not going apart, which is what you want to be. Like it's either if you're providing liquidity for like a pool of two stable coins, you don't care about that because they're both a dollar, perfectly correlated. They're not going anywhere. That's a perfect correlation, right? 1 to 1. And then, basically like Bitcoin and Ethereum, see right here, Bitcoin, Ethereum, correlation is 0.66. So it's very highly correlated, right? Bitcoin moves up, ETH kind of follows, vice versa, right? Bitcoin falls, ETH falls. But as a liquidity provider, you don't really care as long as like, you're in the right price range and you're collecting fees, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's kind of like the way I think about it. Yeah, and then here it's easy. You just select the range. I mean, this is all like if you want to really calculate things and everything, but you can just take it easy and just kind of see right here, percentages, minimum, maximum. So you could just right here, see, it's like, oh, let's have the range, 12% lower, and maximum is whatever, 15% higher. See,
Okay.
and that's the range where you're basically collecting fees in that range, right?
Gotcha.
The Glimmer price. See, like
Right.
Glimmer price right now, it's 4.1 Stella, right? And then the minimum, like the lowest Glimmer can go in terms of Stella, right? And the highest the Glimmer can go, once again, in terms of Stella. But see, if you want to just make it easy for yourself, just so you understand, let's switch to USDC, right? Bam. And see right there, it shows you right away the price of Glimmer in dollars. See, that's real
Okay.
easy to understand now. Everybody gets
Okay.
that. They're like, oh, okay, now I get it.
Okay.
See what I mean? Like minimum price, 26 cents per Glimmer, maximum price, 35 cents. And you can
Okay.
obviously, lower that, or you can just go with preset ranges. See, they even do that for you. So you don't have to even calculate anything. You can just go conservative. Yeah, don't look at that APR calculation. It's all screwed up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll show you the actual APR you're getting once you provide liquidity in your dashboard. It will give you
Right.
the right APR. It'll tell you
Right.
exactly. I'm not gonna do it here, but you've seen it. It's.
Yeah. I did a test run the other
Yeah,
day.
it all works. This liquidity
Yeah.
mining has been working for a long time. This is not like a new thing that I'm teaching. And StellaSwap, it's the number one exchange on Polkadot. So like people tell me, oh, why should I trust you? I'm like, you don't have to trust me at all, literally. Like it's all on chain. You're using Polkadot, which is a super decentralized blockchain. I have nothing to do with them. Using
Mhm.
StellaSwap, which is a decentralized exchange. Once again, not affiliated with them or anything. I'm just the guy teaching these things. That's it. That's like, so the only thing you have to trust is that I know what the hell I'm doing and, that I'm teaching you these things the right way. That's it. And if you
Exactly.
want to, certify that, just go on YouTube and, look at some other people, what they're doing. I mean, whatever.
Sure. I did
Yeah.
notice that StellaSwap says that like, the standard range is where you want to be at most of the time. Is that true or
Yeah, that's kind of what they recommend. It's pretty
okay.
wide. I mean, see
Okay.
right here, it's like 10% to the downside, 20% to the upside. And I'm sure they changed these ranges. Because
Right.
usually, in the bull markets, they make the upper range like larger, because there's more chance that both tokens are gonna kind of move, up,
Move up.
upward.
Now, when do they unpair? When do like if you out of range, you'd have to manually unpair it, or this does it for you because it's
No, no, no. This doesn't do it. This is
for
manual mode. So what I do is
manual.
that I teach manual mode, right? But they already have
Okay.
DeFi integration. Like if you look at here, see
Right.
automated. So you
Right.
go to like you click on that, bam, it takes you right to Beefy,
And
right into
then
that pair. See XDC Glimmer,
right.
and
But
that's
then
it.
what
And then
happens if it
yeah.
keeps going out of range, then you get charged fees, right? If it
No, 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 no. That's the thing.
no.
In the manual mode, when it goes out of range, you don't get charged anything. You just stop making fees. You just stop providing liquidity, right? Because you're out of range. Now the
Okay.
traders, let's say traders are trading, like here, USDC Glimmer. Let's use that so it's easier to understand for people.
Okay.
Like 26 cent, Glimmer to 35 cent Glimmer, right? That's where you're providing liquidity, right? People are swapping between USDC and Glimmer, right?
Right.
So, and then so basically, as long as you're in that range, you're making fees. You're making fees. You're getting rewards, right? As soon as the price of Glimmer drops below this or above this, you just stop making fees. Nothing happens to your position, right? That's where the impermanent loss, right? Because it goes up and down the price. It doesn't just
Right.
stay. See, the problem, which I'll get into later, with all these like auto compounders like Beefy, what they used to have, is that they would keep you in range all the time, right? And they would do that by selling your tokens and then rebalancing, which is a
Right.
bad idea because you basically lock in your permanent loss, right? It's like, think about it there. How I explain to people usually. Let's say you have Bitcoin, right? And it's now $1,000, right? Like you're like, okay, then let's say it falls to $600, right?
Hmm.
See, that's impermanent loss. You have $400 of a permanent loss, right? Because now you lost, but you didn't even lose it. That's why it's impermanent, right? Because
Correct.
then it goes back up to 1,000. Did you lose any money? No, you didn't, right? because you
Correct.
know it just went back to 1,000 and you're back in same price. You didn't lose anything. But for those 10 minutes or 10 hours or 10 days, you are at impermanent loss. That's kind of how you have to think about it. So the same thing with these liquidity positions, right? The prices, well, in this case, only Glimmer price goes up and down, right? So
Okay.
basically, when it goes up and down, you get this impermanent loss. But if you do nothing and it goes back into range, you're good. You're making fees again, and you know you're happy. You didn't suffer any losses, and you're making the yields, right?
Right.
That's kind of the thing. So now, like Beefy made this whole thing actually read into the documents, like CLM, concentrated liquidity management. You know, they have a whole like meat thing going. You know, Beefy
Yep.
cows.
Yep.
Yeah, it's whatever branding. Yeah, it's so basically they're trying to improve on that module where they do want to keep you in range, but they don't want to sell your position, sell your tokens, right, to rebalance because that locks in the impermanent loss, makes it a permanent loss, right? So, because think about it, if you're, for example, the price is going back and forth, like past the bottom range, past the top range, and it keeps going back and forth, right? And it
Mhm.
keeps selling it and rebalancing the whole time, that IL is going to accumulate, right? Because then
Mhm.
every time it rebalances, it basically like, the way it works, when you're basically, how to explain it? This is a tough one. But basically, when you suffer a permanent loss, like the token that's doing the best, it concentrates your position into the token that's doing like, the worst, basically,
Okay.
So like that's what's called permanent loss, because
Okay.
but once it goes back into range, then it disappears and it kind of goes back and forth. Now, your goal as a liquidity miner is to basically collect enough fees to offset that,
Right.
and their job is to minimize that, that whole back and forth oscillation to not lock it in, right? So
Okay.
yeah, so they removed that, so they no longer like sell your stuff and rebalance. What they do is they like every 6 hours they just take out like your tokens and just put them into a different range, a range that's closer to the one that's currently the right range. It's automatic. See,
Huh.
and then they basically, so they remove that, so it doesn't lock in the game. And then what they do is instead of rebalancing, they have like an alt coin, alt position. See right here,
Okay.
and that's a one-sided position. So basically, they take the tokens, like the one token that's like underperforming, and see, and they add another position like here. See right here where it says B.
Hmm.
Yeah. You can read all that. I'm gonna put this
Sure.
in here's in the chat. You can like read through it, kind of get your mind around
Yeah.
it. It's a bit tough to explain, but like they lay it all out. But basically, if you don't want to get into the weeds, it minimizes the impermanent loss. It doesn't lock it in. Basically, it just rebalances, puts a new range in every like 6 hours every time you deposit, and then um basically it balances with this old position to keep you in range and making fees. So if it goes like this way, this part goes out of range, right? You're not making money on this part, but then this fees, the old position, kind of takes up the slack. That's the strategy they're using, in simple terms. You can read
Right.
this whole document. Here, I'll put it, I guess when I stop sharing my screen. One second, I'll put it in the chat so you can check it out.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah. Put it in the chat. You can read all the docs. Everything is in there. Yeah,
Got it.
it's all this
Okay.
information. I mean, I'm planning to actually make like a separate mini course or mini module just on Beefy, on automation, on advanced strategies. Didn't have the time to do any of that. I was just kind of trying to get the marketing in place, trying to get the customer support up to par, trying to keep my course updated. Like it's just me. I don't have a team. I do everything.
Sure.
Like
One man
so.
army.
Well, I'm an
One man.
army, yeah, that's what but it's okay. That's what I wanted. I wanted to learn every piece of the business, everything, and control everything. I'm a control freak. I like to control the quality, you know? Because when I put my face out there and I make claims, that I have VIP service, white glove, like I want to deliver on that. I don't want to
Got
be
it.
like, like people promise a lot, deliver little. No, no, that's
I
not
appreciate that. There's not a
that's
lot of
that,
people that do that,
no, no, no. That's not
I
my
do
thing.
appreciate it. Yeah.
I'm trying to make this brand into like the VIP concierge kind of DeFi onboarding experience for people of all skill levels, including like extreme newbies. People
Right.
people don't like to be called newbies. I'm like, what's wrong with that? We're all newbies when we start in everything,
Yeah.
technically. So like, what's the problem being called a newbie? I'm a newbie in a lot of things. I'm a newbie probably in physics and biology. I don't remember any of that stuff, you know?
Right. So should we be correlating when you talk about the correlating pairs? Should we be looking at the charts and kind of,
Yeah, I mean, like I showed you, the simplest thing is if you go to like
yeah,
CoinMarketCap and you just, punch in like each of the two tokens, let's say Stella Glimmer, right? You just go to
right,
CoinMarketCap, punch in StellaSwap, punch in Moonbeam. I mean, I'm doing it all on one screen because I'm sharing just one screen. I guess maybe I should have shared all of them, but it's okay. But you can open them like side by side and kind of,
right.
see. Plus, you can also check here on the correlations, selected coin. Let's see if we can add Stella. Stella. Yep, there we go. Stella swap. See, and then let's see. Glimmer. Ah, Glimmer. Man, my typing is terrible today. Right. See, there we go. We just added. See, we got Stella. We got Glimmer. See, correlation is 0.78, which is really good. That's a high correlation. The higher, the better, basically. Like stable coins are basically a 1. Like USDC, USDT, that's a correlation of 1. It's like perfect, right? So that's why it's green. So basically, the more correlated they are, the less risk of permanent loss there is, right? So that's like kind of one analysis. Then you just, take a look kind of at their history, how volatile they are, how they move. So you do that too. Yeah, and that's kind of you. Then once you see that they're correlated, then you kind of see like what range you want to take, right? Because the tighter the range, the more
Hmm.
the risk that is going to go out of that range, right? I mean, that's just obvious. But the tighter the range, the more efficient your capital is being utilized, right? The efficiency
Okay,
goes up, so you're collecting more fees, and they also tied the rewards to that as well. So the tighter your range, the more rewards they give you as well, right? They basically what
okay,
they do is they tie it to like utilization percentage. So the more your liquidity is being utilized, the higher percentage of fees and incentives they give you. Both. It's not just, one. It's both of them. Yeah. And that's kind of like manual mode, but then later you could just go into like beefy and just, that's kind of another thing that I want to add because that gives you access to 22 blockchains and over 100 dexes,
oh, wow,
in one interface.
that's
And it's
huge.
all, look, it's like like as many pools as you want. You can sit there
Wow,
all day long. You can spread your funds between like 10 different blockchains and 40 different dexes, and you'll have like, 40 separate sources of passive income. Like, like even if 2, 3 go down, you don't care. You're like, whatever. I'm making
sure.
yield on everything else. Yeah, when I was talking about decentralized, censorship resistant, like bulletproof yield in my presentation, I wasn't just shooting the
Mhm.
shit. No, this is this stuff works, right? So like it can, for example, go and you choose a chain, right? Arbitrum, Avalanche, Base, let's say like Base, right? Boom, it shows
Right.
you all the things on Base, all the pools. Then you say, oh, I want stable coins. Boom, stable coins on Base. Eh? There you go.
That's
And
cool.
then from there you can just sort them by deposited. Well, that's how much you have deposited in that. APY. See, it shows you all the APYs. It's not great. Moonbeam was better. See, not
Yeah,
great, but it is in the daily. How much daily percentages? TVL, right? How much money is in the farm?
right.
Basically, what you want is ideally is like high volume, and low kind of TVL, right? Because the more people are in there, like the rewards are shared between everybody. That's kind of how it works, right? Because there's only one source. There's volume from the fees coming in, right?
Okay.
That's and then basically rewards. And then they take that and they split it between all the people in the pool
Right,
based on their stats, based on their how much liquidity they're providing, what range, right? Because they're providing a lot of liquidity, but it's not being used because you set like a basically infinite range from 0 to infinity, which is how they used to do this in V2 in like older liquidity farms. It was always like 0 to infinity. You provide range,
right,
you provide liquidity for the whole thing, right? And then everybody gets paid similar, which is not great. But this way, it's better for everybody. It's better for traders because there's more liquidity being provided in the range where they actually trade, right? Because most trading
okay,
is going on in like literally 3, 4 cents range, right? I mean, technically, or whatever, 20, 30 cents, depends on the asset. And then all the
okay.
other liquidity is just sitting there, but they have to pay for that. They have to give them fees. This way, you're out of range, you're not getting jack shit. I'm like,
right,
sorry, you want to get back in range?
right.
Change your range. Tighten it
Mhm.
up, right?
That's
Like,
good.
or kill the or how some people do it. Also, there's different strategies, which I can't get into on all these calls, but I'll
Sure.
because I have to put it in like a organized manner. Like if you see my course, you see I take it seriously every module. I try to like
Right.
do a little theory. Then I have to, show them the interface. So I'll probably just make, a module on all of this, like what I'm showing you, like the strategies, beefy, like, range management, like all these things. And I know I should have done it before, but I just like didn't have the time. That's all.
No,
My
it's so
goal was
fortunate.
kind of to get the basic experience going, to get somebody in there, get them into a stable farm, show them that they're making money for sure, because all my students make money. Like if you get into a stable farm and you put the money in there, you're gonna be making money. It's guaranteed. Like there's no way you're not gonna make money. It's just
Right.
depend. The only question is how much, right? That's
Yeah.
it. Not like
So
if. Yep.
I've got 1K ETH in my MetaMask wallet right now.
Okay.
Um, and then my goal is probably within the next 3 to 6 months. You tell me if this is valid, but if I could net around 3K a month. Now I have like 10K in Bitcoin that I've just got in a cold wallet that I've had since, gosh, 2017.
So
I haven't
should I
touched.
should I stop sharing? I mean, you don't need this. I kind of already showed
Yeah,
everything, right?
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we're good. All right.
Yeah.
Stop share. Yeah. Okay.
But so if we take a portfolio, let's say 10K BTC,
Yeah.
do you think I should even mess with BTC or just leave it, or what do you? Yeah.
Like again, I can't really give financial advice. It
Right.
all depends. That's why I show the ropes. I show you how to do it. I show you analyze. I show you
Yeah.
like all of then you kind of have to make decisions. I mean, I can
Okay.
give some advice, but then again, everybody has different like risk, tolerance, different goals, kind of. I mean, who knows? Maybe Bitcoin's gonna go to 500K, like Sailor says in the next couple of months, and they'll do a 5x.
And
I honestly don't really see that. I
yeah,
think it had an insane
170.
run. I think we're due for like a bit of a correction. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to be bearish or anything like that, but I'm just saying bull markets don't go up like straight up. They have corrections, sometimes deep corrections, People
Right.
seem to forget that. They're like, we're in the bull market. I'm like, yeah, we are. I'm not arguing that. But you still have like a 30-40% correction, you know?
Right.
Why, if Bitcoin drops to like 60K in the next week, you think people are gonna be surprised? I
Yeah.
highly doubt it. They'll be
Yeah.
like, it was just a 70 for like the longest time, right? And now it's
Right.
back down to 60. Like, so that's nothing. Bitcoin is, I had an 80% drop once, So what? I don't care. Like, I'm not selling.
Exactly.
Like I'll hold it till whatever, you know?
Exactly.
It all depends kind of your goals. I mean, like the way I think about it is that like I have my HODL portfolio, which I don't touch and I don't use to provide liquidity. That's like
Okay.
investment. You're going for the X's, right? You're going for the
Right.
10x, 100x. That's a different thing, right? Then you have
Right.
your passive income portfolio, which is the
Right.
portfolio that you're lending out and providing as liquidity to make like dollars per month, right? That's two separate things. People always seem to confuse the two. They're like, "Oh man,
Okay.
I'm holding this. Should I do that?" I'm like, "Listen, guy, like, what's your goal? Is your goal capital appreciation or is your goal income, right? I mean,
Right.
obviously, we all want both, right? I want to like a lot of my students, they put money into the farms in the bear market, right? For example, and then both of the tokens go up
Yeah.
together in a correlated way. That's
Right.
that's actually called impermanent gain. It's not just a
Oh,
permanent loss. There's
that's
also a
right.
permanent gain, which you can also make permanent by cashing out. So you lock it in. So now you have permanent gain. So the reason people only talk about permanent loss, I'm like, wait a sec. There's also permanent gain. Come on now. It goes up and down, like, come
Right.
on, people, like they try to be all negative. I'm like, no, no, no. It's kind of like also trading in a way, but the liquidity providers usually they don't count on that. It's like a bonus, right? What they count on is they want to minimize the impermanent loss, right? And they want the fees and the incentives to kind of, you know, make up for that and then some, right? Which is kind of the goal here. And the way
Right.
you do it is you can spread it into like three buckets, right? So you have your
Okay.
stablecoin farms, which I
Okay.
think, should be the bulk of your thing because that's guaranteed money. That's just you collecting cash. No permanent loss, no permanent gain, but cash in your pocket every day, 24/7, 365, right? Then
Right.
you could do like 10% blue chips, you know, like Bitcoin, whatever. Let me see which forms they got it right now. Just gonna 1 second. Let me get out of that. Pools. Yeah. Here, let me share my screen again so we can show people the farms that are, you know, available. Second share. Okay. All right. Yeah, like it even has here. See stables? Yeah, I got 2. But there's plenty
Right.
more, like I showed you in Beefy, in DeFi Llama. Like, yeah, that's not a great tool. It's not just a correlation. Like if you go to see here, there's correlation, but there's also DeFi. See, all this chains, forks. There's yields. Yeah, I guess I'll put that also in the module or mini course. Yeah, that's see. But then once you get out there, why I don't give this to like beginners? It's very confusing. There's a lot of stuff,
Right.
and you just don't know which farms are good. Some of them are like could be rug farms. Some of them could be like with like shit coins that will rug you. You put liquidity in
Exactly.
there, and then they just jack the liquidity, and they're out. You know, with StellaSwap, I give you like a little sandbox, because the StellaSwap team vets all these farms. Every single farm here is vetted and it's good. See, like yeah, so you have these are old ones. So yeah, you have 2 pools. 30%, 25%. That's pretty solid. You're definitely doing what, like 5x the treasuries, 6x the treasuries. So you're
Right.
definitely that's definitely a good option, right? Then there's blue chip. See, it says blue chip. See USDC dot glimmer, USDC dot Bitcoin glimmer, like always a good choice. ETH glimmer, yeah, it's 26%, but whatever, you know. Glimmer's not going anywhere. ETH definitely not either, right? So that's kind of yeah. So either one of
So,
those, and then there's like the featured or community. Well, community is kind of tricky. That's just people running farms. I don't know if you wanna get into that, but
okay.
yeah, features also good. See, like borrow all these like different tokens, and the projects are sponsoring the yield. You know, yeah, like see right. Oh, okay, they're not. Yeah, that's where you can see the breakdown on each one. See, like Stella Glimmer. See that glimmer piece? That's
Right.
Moonbeam incentives basically for that
Gotcha.
pool. See, they're like incentivizing. BRLA is this Brazilian stable coin, so it's pretty good. 89% on a stable, farm. USDC BRLA. I think that's what it is. Yeah. Then there's also this not bad. APR, you can sort it like that. Yeah, right here, 600%. But see, the fees are kind of low. Man, there's a lot of volume on that USDC Glimmer. 350K in 24 hours. Damn, 600%. Okay, so people are making fees. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't see that one. Damn it, I gotta get into that. Yeah, so I mean, 280%. Yeah, because right now there's a lot of volume, trading volume
Right.
because it's the bull market. So all the
Right.
all the yields are pumping because we have all these fees. Yeah, look at this, 200 token. That's like all. Look at this, 30% just in trade fees, and then Stella is also like
Right.
incentivizing. See, so you can see that. Yeah.
So
All
what
right.
what kind of time frame should I like have a strategy for each pair? Saying I want to be in it for 30 days, 60 days. I want 5x, 2x. What kind of
Uh,
strategy do you want
I
to?
mean, it's mostly like I think income-based strategy. Not. Oh, you
Okay.
mean five? You mean like 5x like gain?
Right. Like
Oh, like
yeah,
trading gain? No, no.
a
See,
trading game.
trading that would be Brett's thing, like.
Okay. All right. Don't worry about that then.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't worry about that.
Okay.
Yeah, for
Okay.
you,
All
the
right.
strategy here is all income. That's all you
Okay.
want. Passive
Okay.
income.
It's
Like you're
passive
trying
income.
you you're trying to squeeze out as much income as possible out of that, out of
Right.
those tokens, basically,
Okay.
So
So
and that's all you count. You basically you can even to keep it easy, just count it in dollars. Like, oh, I put in 5 grand of ETH, right, or whatever it is, right,
right.
and I'm getting $300 a month, off that ETH, right. So that there
Okay.
you go, or $500 a month to keep the math simple. So I'm getting 10% a month, times 12. So I'm getting 120% a year. That's it, and that's all you care. And
Okay.
that's see because this works in bull or bear market. It doesn't matter.
Right.
You don't really care as long as the tokens are correlated, and they're kind. Well, I mean, like I said, the bonus thing would be to time it when their tokens are low in the bear market. You get them
Yeah.
when they're both low and they're both correlated. Then bull
Yeah.
market comes,
Permanent
they go
gain.
up, they 10x, and you get the 10x, and you get the fees, and you get the income, right? But that's like a a lottery scenario, like that's like gambling, that's trading, which, trading is okay. I do a little bit, but you can't depend on it. This is more like an income strategy, right? I mean, if you don't want to take any risk, you just take, $10 million, put it put it in the stable pool, and you're getting 30% or even 20% a year, right? One fifth, you're getting $2 million a year, and you don't care. You just like wake up in the morning, just press one button a week, collect, 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 and you put it in your bank account and you spend it on whatever the hell you want to spend $2 million a month. I mean, I don't know. Like I
Right,
can, I'm not
right,
really sure what people spend that kind of money on, but whatever. I'm sure I can figure
yeah.
something out.
So not to change the subject, but shift over to
Yeah,
the, with the regulations and stuff coming in probably
yeah.
2025, 26. I mean, this industry is too big for them to control at this point,
Oh
right?
no, no, it's good now. We got Trump
Yeah,
coming in, and all
yeah,
pro crypto candidates like in the House, Senate, Congress.
right.
It's gonna be it's pro crypto across the board.
Or
Like
right.
the Democrats are out like of control because there's idiots were trying to kill crypto industry. I mean, I don't know if you
Yeah.
saw the Joe Rogan interview with Mark Andreessen on Spotify.
Oh,
You should
yeah.
you should definitely like
Okay.
listen to that. Like he's talking about the Operation Choke Point 2.0. He's talking about people getting debanked, like crypto founders getting debanked from banks just with like unconstitutional phone calls. I mean, they're doing wild shit. These people, they're like some fascist Nazi shit, and they're talking about us being like weird and whatever. Like you're debanking people just because they use crypto.
Right.
Like that's not legal. That's
Yeah.
there's got to be some kind of violation. But whatever, it's
Yeah.
fine. And then it's funny. The FTX guy, he was all buddy buddy with Gensler. He was in his
Right.
office 3 times a
Yeah.
day. The biggest
Yeah.
scammer stole 8 billion from people. Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy was fine. He was at the White House, chilling with the
Right.
senators, donating to the campaigns. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Sure.
put this
Yeah.
up on YouTube later. I don't want to get like
I know.
banned
No, I don't want
again.
to go. Yeah.
Get
I
banned
get you.
again from YouTube. Sorry, gods of YouTube. I'm not trying to whatever,
I get
but
it. I get it.
hopefully they're gonna come down a little bit too with this whole thing.
Right.
Because I'm sure YouTube doesn't want to censor people either or like do wild shit like this. They just making money. They don't care. But the White House was passing down all kinds of directives. But to your point, I think the regulation is coming in because you saw what Trump said. He wants to make U.S. the crypto capital of the world, which we should be, because all the innovation was happening here until they started choking people off from the banks and giving them Wells notices and suing people like freaking Gary Gensler. Oh, why don't you just come in and register? Come in where? Register how? You like seriously? Like don't be gaslighting me, guy. Like yeah, right. Like Coinbase and Kraken don't have like 20 lawyers, right? That
Yeah.
would love to come in and fill out all kinds of paperwork. Yeah. But I don't know, but for me, I mean, what I do is you can also like for taxes, you can use this service called Coinly.
Okay.
It's a you know, 1 second, let me share my screen and put it up so that people watch the recording. Coinly, I think .io. 1 sec. Yep, there you go. So let me share the screen so people can check it out. I mean, I don't use them myself because I have a CPA who's also an IRS attorney and she does all my stuff. I just download like Coinbase. Yeah, but basically, if you really, really want to be like super compliant, like let's see, they even got 4 accountants, so you can get your accountant to use their service, basically. And it scans all the blockchains, downloads all your like crypto, calculates capital gains. Yeah, simplifies it. So easily import your trades. But I mean, that's more for traders. But technically, you could use it as a liquidity miner as well. Preview
Okay.
capital gains. It's download tax document, and then you can either file yourself with TurboTax, so you can email it away to your CPA and or accountant if you're outside of US, because we have a lot of students that are not in US. But from what I can see is I mean, they're not really like cracking down hard. As long as you like do pay your taxes. For
Right.
example, I don't think they really want like every single little transaction, filed for every single token. No, like what they want to see is, let's say I sent 5K of ETH, from Coinbase into Moonbeam. Right now it's in DeFi. I'm doing my DeFi things, and then I'm starting to get income from the farms, and I'm sending like 2K in USDC back to my Coinbase. You just declare that as your income, and that's it. That's the money you made. That's the money you earn as a liquidity provider. It's like
Okay.
income, you know. And then
Yeah.
basically every time it comes in, that's so. And then your account can calculate. Oh, I invested 5K into this thing that's bringing me $500 a month, and $500 a month is my income. So I like to keep it
Got it.
simple. I'm not gonna go and calculate the cost basis in real time of Glimmer and every trade. Man, I might do like 20 trades a day. You kidding me? You want all of that? I'm like, screw you, like, whatever. Like, get
Yeah.
off my ass. Like, you people, you don't help anyway. Like, and you want this and you want that. Like, how about no? Like,
Right.
fine. If you really want me to do that, I'll go to Coinly. You'll import all my shit from Moonbeam and this and that. And then plus we're doing it on Moonbeam. I don't think those people even know what the hell that is. I think all
Right.
they know is Bitcoin, Ethereum. That's it.
Yeah.
And all they know is like trading profits where it's like cost basis. It's like you sell Bitcoin for this much, you pay this much, short-term gains, capital, long-term gains, like, yeah, all these things. But I don't know. I prefer to dump it all on my account. She does everything for me. I'm just like, for the past, I think, 10 years. I just, when crypto came around, I just, get this Coinbase little form that they put together for you at
Right.
the end of the year. And
Right.
I just, send her the PDF. And then she kind of, PDF, send her my bank account statements. She, does a little magic thing, submits it to the IRS, signs her name that she's responsible. And that's
Yeah.
it. If shit
Right.
comes around, I'll be like, it's her. Take her. It's not me. I paid big money to this accountant
Yeah.
so that she
I
does
know.
everything. Because I'm an idiot with
Uh,
taxes. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. I know how to do it. I just don't want
it's
to because
it's
I got enough to
December.
do. I got
I
enough to
know.
do. Yeah,
I
I got
know.
plenty. I got to outsource. I got to outsource more actually. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody tells me like, all my mentors like, what are you doing? Why are you doing everything yourself? I'm like, well, in order to outsource things, you have to learn these things so I can know if they're doing a good job or not. Because a lot of people they try to outsource right off the bat and then they do a crappy job and then the students suffer. And I'm like, nah, that ain't gonna be me. Like, it's okay. I guess maybe that's why it's taking me so long, like 5 years to, finally start like selling and get figure out all these things. But that's it takes how long it takes, right? It takes what it takes.
Right.
Like it doesn't matter.
Right.
There's no rushing.
Yeah. Well, I know
Yeah,
from one of your older videos, you were talking about traveling and putting everything in a suitcase that was all locked up so they couldn't steal anything. Or are you
yeah.
doing that? Are you doing that
Yeah,
now?
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, right
Cool.
now I'm back in Brooklyn, back in my little
Yeah.
home office. So, but yeah, when I travel, I take like this headphones, which are professional sports broadcaster headphones. So like, which are great because like you can see me clearly, and there could be a
Right.
dog barking outside my office door. You won't be able to hear it.
Yeah.
Like that's the guy that's it. There's no like way. Neighbors could be shooting guns upstairs. It doesn't matter. Like I cut that off at the seam. People are
Right
like,
on.
"Oh, you should get like this foam thing and some kind of tower." I'm like, "What are you talking about? I'm on air. Like I'm live. I can't be in the foam tower like hiding from trains and whatever. Like no, I'm gonna get this instead. Which is great. It's a Audio Technica, like professional broadcaster headphones, the ones they use
Right.
at like football games and baseball
Right.
games, and there's people screaming and yelling and you can hear them clearly. That's what I got. Like problem
Nice.
solved. Yeah, I got a nice 4K camera, like so people can see me great. Like it's like you have to have good gear, and I have to take it with me when I travel, and then I
Sure.
lock it in this suitcase, which doesn't even have a you know like an open thing. It just clamps shut,
Right.
so they can't
Right.
cut through the zipper. Doesn't have a
Right.
zipper. Like I've had that done to me before. Some guy cuts through the zipper, just gets in there and takes all my gear. I'm like, no, no, no. So now I bought this suitcase with no zipper, it clamps together, shuts like I close it with a lock, and it has a little TSA thingy, so they can open it. You know,
Hmm.
and if they open it and if my stuff is missing, then I know who took it, the
Right.
TSA people. And then I go
Right.
there and there's gonna be a problem. Like,
Right.
yeah, but they don't. They don't. They're fine. TSA
Sure.
is fine. They don't care. They love their little jobs. They don't want to like risk it for like a laptop and the headphones. Like, come on now.
Right.
And
1,500
like,
of them a day.
yeah, this is not
Yeah.
like hundreds of thousands of
Yeah.
dollars or even thousands of dollars. Like 300
Yeah.
bucks. The camera was like 300. Bunch of like whatever tripods and
Right.
everything. Whatever. Yeah, man. Like the great thing about this is I can do this from anywhere.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, when I do hardcore development, obviously it's always better if I'm at home office on my big, huge screen. I have one of those like huge screens. That's like three screens in one. Yeah. So that's, it's always better when you have three windows side by side and I can kind of work on a course and record things and do video editing. Yeah. But other than that,
Awesome.
yeah, it's all good, man.
It's
Yeah.
good. It's good. Very good. I did have a question. I was looking at like with Polkadot, you got dot, you got ST
Yeah.
dot, you got V dot. What's
Yeah, that's a whole different thing. I don't know if you want to be doing that.
okay?
That's definitely not for beginners. That's what that is basically if you have like dot on the Polkadot network, you can exchange it through their native bridge into like this liquid kind of like ST dot, synthetic dot. That's what that stands for. And they have like a separate pool just for the ST dot. See, I didn't do that because that's like out of skill range for 99%. Well, we do have some traders in the group. We do have people that are like serious, so they know how to do this without me. So there was no point teaching me teaching them how to do it because they already know how to do it. So like, and the beginners, they're like, "What the hell is a ST dot?" Like, I don't know what the hell that is. And like, I'll have to make a whole new thing. To be honest, I'd rather do a beefy module and
No,
strategies
that
and range.
beefy.
That's
Yeah,
that's
that's
way more
incredible.
applicable because that is kind of the last step in the journey. Like my whole kind of idea for this course is I take somebody who doesn't know anything about crypto, right? Then I kind of show them how to add all these tools, programs, how to settle up. Then I show them how to get their money from the bank, the next step, into like DeFi, right? Which is the bridging, routing. Then I show them just StellaSwap, just the one thing so that I don't overwhelm them. And all the pools in there are vetted so they don't get rugged, which would be catastrophic for me and my personal brand. If my students get rugged, no, that's not going to happen unless they later go out on their own and they get rugged
Mm.
outside of my instructions, which is not my fault because I'll tell them like, it's your risk, your money. You can do whatever you want. We're in DeFi, right? I'm just the guy showing you the ropes. I have no access to your wallet. I have no access to anything. I just, tell you what to do, right? And then kind of how to get that profit out and back into the bank, right? And then the last module is the Trezor, right? To secure against hackers, right? But
Right.
then people are like, oh, how do I set the ranges? What's the strategy for the ranges? How do I automate, which is beefy, which is constant liquidity manager, right? Then how do I research other farms and other networks, which I mean, I was kind of thinking at first of doing like little modules and then just selling them for like 200-300 bucks a piece. Like do like a Orca Dex on Solana network and just make like a
Mhm.
little mini course on that and then just sell it to you guys for like 150 bucks, like half price for students, and then kind of have that whole kind of drip kind of thing, right? But then I was like, nah, I don't know if I want to do that. That's too complicated. That means I have to do marketing, backhand for all this stuff. I think I'd rather just kind of make one upsell module which gives you everything, which is the beefy automation, ranges, strategies, this, that, and that's like kind of the advanced, piece. And just give that for like, whatever, 300-400 bucks, and that's it. Now you have the whole thing. You're done. Now you have access to like 20 blockchains, full automation, 100 dexes. You could like a whole dashboard, one graphical interface, which is a plus. Because don't forget, like StellaSwap decks and all the other dexes, they have their own graphical interface. And
Right.
I'll have to make lessons for each and every one. So I have to
Yeah,
basically do like 10 different graphical interfaces. Like screw that. Who wants to do that? Versus
right.
I teach you just one beefies and you get access to all of that, right? Plus it's automated, so it's like great. It auto compounds, it puts all your rewards automatically back into your position, so it grows your position. It holds the range for you. It picks the range for you. Like that's the ultimate hands off. You could just put it in there and just forget about it for a month, and
Mm.
that's it, or for a year. If you pick like a solid, pool, not some wonky, rug, some kitty makes a scam coin on Solana, and then he makes a pool for that, and everybody's like, oh my God, 3,000%. Woo, I'm gonna win. Yeah, guess what? He's gonna take your money. He's gonna basically sell his coin into that pool, take your ETH as liquidity, and then that's it. It's gonna go to nothing. And your principal is gonna go to zero. So who cares about passive income? You just lost the money, and 3,000% of zero is what?
Zero.
Zero. That's what people don't understand. They're like, oh my God, 3,000%. I'm like, yeah, I'd rather take 30% on USDC, USDT pool than 3,000% on screw me rock coin dash ETH. where
Right.
where the guy is gonna just dump the rock coin on you, take the ETH, and like be like the little boy on the pumping up fun. He's like, thanks for 20 bandos. You know, you see that? That was funny as hell. This guy literally made a token on Pump Fun, then he pumped it up. The kid was like 12 years old. I mean, I don't get it. How are these 12-year-old kids on Pump Fun making meme coin like rug and then rugging people live? And then the guy rugged people live and he recorded himself rugging people, like like we're recording right now. And then he's like, "Thanks for the 20 bandos, morons." Yeah, and then the thing took off, and then the people pumped that coin, and they went up to like I think $50 million market cap. After that kid sold, they were like, and then they doxed him. They started calling his parents. It was like a
Right,
whole like the
right.
guy like thanks for the 20 bandos. Bandos like
Yeah,
thousands. Thanks for 20 grand. Like
yeah.
he could have made like $3 million with those coins, you know?
That's funny.
Yeah, that's
Karma.
pretty funny. That's crypto land for you, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, do you listen to the Bankless podcast?
I don't. I need
Oh,
to.
you should, man. It's the
Okay.
best. Yeah. Like
Okay.
yeah, and basically every week they have a show called Weekly Roll Up. So in 1 hour, they summarize all the news in the cryptosphere, all the top news. Like,
Okay.
you know, coins, I listen to it every week. I mean, I listen to that show every week, but I listen to their other. They have a lot of
Sure.
interviews, like Mark Andreessen came on, and you know they had like people from the SEC on, I think on the show. They had like everybody came on, like all the top dogs. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
ETH centric a little bit, but they do everything. I mean, they don't talk about Polkadot, those bastards though, because I think
Okay.
they know that Polkadot is better. That's why they're like, oh, Polkadot. We're not gonna mention them. I'm like, BS much? I mean, you know, come on now. Like, see, I like both. I like Ethereum and Polkadot and Bitcoin. See, I'm like a multi-coiner. I'm not a maxi on
Sure.
any one of those things. Whatever makes
Sure.
money is solid tech and, you know, safe. That's all we need, you know?
Right. So, like, I'm in my 60s now, and I need this extra income for my retirement. I'm going to retire probably the
Yeah,
next 3 years.
perfect.
But
That's
yeah,
what you want to do.
I just need a. I don't need a. Like I said, I need a 3 to 5K a month just to
Yeah,
keep everything steady.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
within 2 years, I should be able to get that pretty
yeah,
steady,
for
don't you
sure.
think? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's easy math. You just kind of
All right.
invest in all these farms, and then the month you just calculate how much you got. Like that's it.
Okay.
People tell me, "Oh, it's complicated." I'm like, "No, no. You're overcomplicating things. Like it's really easy. You just look at the dollar amount of whatever asset you invested, right? You're providing as liquidity. Then you look how much is that bringing me every month in dollars, right?
Right.
And you just go from there. And you're like, oh, okay, I need like 10x that. Okay. Like, should I up the risk? Should I tighten the ranges, right? I mean, there's all these things. That's what people tell me. Like, what do I do? I'm like, I can't tell you because, first of all, it's financial advice, not financial
Right.
advice, my opinion,
Right.
because I'm putting this up on YouTube. Somebody's like, oh,
Correct.
you told me to do this, and now I
Right.
lost this. I'm like, guy, do you think I have a crystal ball that tells me where the price is gonna go? If I had that, I would just be trading at 100x leverage on Bybit, and I'm making courses and making $3 million a day. You know, and
Right.
that's it, right? If
Right.
I had that kind of crystal ball, but I don't, and nobody does, unless you're an insider and you do inside trading, which is illegal, which is why people sometimes go to jail for these things. But you know, but you don't have to be an insider or a crystal ball to put your money in a solid, stable farm, and you're gonna getting 20, 30% a year on that, and you can bank on that money,
Right.
right? And then you put, you know, like 20, 30% into a blue chip farm, and that's making you 40, 50% a year. And then you're playing with some crazy farms like the one I showed you, which is like 680%, right? So you put 10% into that, and now, you know, the income from that is mixing in with the safer income and it's boosting up your overall gains, right? Because
Okay.
like, because like 5K in a super like risky farm like that BRLA or whatever, you know, is making you basically triple what you know your 80% in stables. But the 80% stables, there's no risk there, and you can count on that money, right, for your living expenses, right? So and
Right.
eventually you kind of see what the statistics are. You examine the price action on each token, see how correlated they are, because you know the more correlated, the less risk, right? Because it's not just about like the price per token; it's also the prices relative to each other, right?
Okay.
Kind of
Okay.
like you kind of want
Gotcha.
them to be moving in a similar way, price action wise, right? So for example, if one token is 6 cents, another one is 60 cents, and one went to $1.20, you want the other one ideally to double as well, right? To kind of follow that coin. You know, otherwise they get apart and then the rebalances, and that's the IL. You know, but usually it's kind of like, which is why this is more of a passive strategy, a long-term strategy. You kind of in there, and you keep your strategy, risk management in terms of like the three buckets. You keep your then you manage more risk more by range strategy, which is more concentration, less concentration. So obviously on volatile tokens, you want more, you want a wider range, right? because it's gonna go out of range a lot. But on something like, and most people have those ranges set the same way. See, it's like a crowd strategy, because you're kind of competing against other LP like liquidity providers in that same pool, right? So if they have all their ranges set to like super tight, they're gonna be taking all your fees and all your rewards, technically, right?
Ah, okay,
Like it's like a
okay,
game theory kind of thing going on, also,
right,
right? But think
right,
about it. Like if there's a range, that's why some people are like, oh man, you said I'm gonna get 20-30% a year on this stable farm, and I'm getting like 2%. I'm like, well, buddy, the range is super tight. Everybody's in that pool. They can keep it super tight because it's a stable coin farm. It's not going anywhere. It's a dollar, unless it depegs, which on USDC highly unlikely. USDT highly unlikely because Tether, I think, is making like $3 billion a year in profit, and they have 30 employees. Okay, and now somebody tells me that USDT is like wonky, I start laughing at them. I'm like, wonky, $3 billion a year in profit business? Like, are you smoking crack, guy? What are you talking about? Like, no, it's not wonky at all. It's they're actually, they what their business, right? Tether, USDT.
right.
It's really
Yeah,
simple.
yeah,
They just
yeah.
take your money, give you the token, then they
Mhm.
take that money, I think $20 billion, and they put it in the treasuries, and they collect 5% on that. And you
Yeah,
know what they do with that 5%? They keep it
yeah.
for themselves. They don't give you jack shit.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I'm checking out this other project, White Rock. They didn't have money to invest. I think they were like 20x. Not financial advice, but
right.
they're basically dealing with solving that problem. They're tokenizing stocks on the internet. So
Okay,
basically, you can trade stocks on chain, and they have their own stablecoin USDX, which pays out the yield on treasuries to the token holders.
oh, nice.
Ah, which is
That's
which is what which is those bastards, at the Tether. I mean, not bastards, they're good guys. I know some of them,
right.
but like you,
You
you
gotta
get
make
my
money.
trip. They take all the money. Damn it! Like if I'm
Yeah,
holding Tether, I'm not getting any of that. If I'm holding USDC, well, you get some of that, I guess, if you stake your USDC at Coinbase at like what is it? What do they give you now? 5%, 3%. Those
yeah.
those scumbags, like, yeah, I mean, that's scumbags. I love you, Coinbase. Don't ban me, like, because I'm in New York. That's all I got. Please don't ban me. I love you. I love you, Armstrong, Brian Armstrong. But yeah, I say it with love. Like, yeah,
Right,
they're a business, and they're a good business. Coinbase is solid. That's why I recommend Coinbase as like my number one choice. Well, it's my only choice really in New York. So, it
sure.
is
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah.
It's okay. At least now they opened up ETH access on Base, so now I can actually use Base with ETH only,
I
not
like
USDC though.
base.
Oh,
Yeah,
Base is great. Yeah, it's so
base is
fast,
awesome.
right? It's instant.
It is.
Yeah, and Coinbase I
And
heard is killing it with the validator fees. I think they're making like 300K, 400K a month in validation fees. They're just raking it in. Damn it. Yeah, I wanted to get into coin stock at like $60, but once again, I put all my money into freaking farms, and the rest I put into this business. So like it's hilarious. Like I know all these things. I'm in all the like secret little groups, and I got my finger in like every little web, and I know
uh,
all these things, but I have no capital to act on it. Like damn it.
uh,
That's okay though, like that's a choice I have to make. It's like, do I invest in the business and myself, or do I invest in like Bitcoin and whatever, and just kind of depend on other people? Ideally, I want to do both, obviously. So
right,
that's why I've been busting ass in this business, trying to, get the money to come in, then I can do everything. Because I want all three.
yeah,
I want the passive income from the farms. I want the investment, trading, the X's, and I want like to make money with the business, like by
right.
teaching people and selling courses and kind of active
Well,
income, trading, investing income, and passive income. That's see 3 buckets. I like that three thing, And
yeah,
then you kind of shift them into three sub buckets, right? On each one of those, it's like, oh, passive income. I
right.
got I got
Well,
lending,
my
I got liquidity mining. I got staking. I got, like, to be honest, I mean, I have over 45 ways already to make passive income, all separate. Liquidity mining is just one that I teach. But I got more. I got like so much that I'm trying to kind of think how I'm gonna put it together into like a high ticket thing where like you pay me like whatever, 10 grand, 5 grand, and I show you how to make 10 ways to make passive income, you know? Basically like $500 per per way to make income, And I'm gonna call that bulletproof yield. I already got the site too. Bulletproofyield.com. Yeah, that's gonna be my probably high ticket, which I have no time to do right now because I still have to do the the finishing touch to StellaSwap course, which is that DeFi strategies. That's gonna be the next one we're working on, you know. And
Right.
I'm still
I,
thinking how to like do it properly, you know. Should I like
yeah, I
upsell
enjoy your
it?
courses. Yeah, your courses are good. I mean, I really going through it, and I mean, I have to do it a couple times, but I get it. You know, it's like,
Yeah,
it makes sense, and that's important. Like you said, it's
yeah. I mean, I've been polishing this course for like the
yeah,
last 2 or 3 years. You know, I've been getting feedback from students, from you guys, and kind of when I
right.
see people asking, "Why do you think I'm doing customer support myself?" Because that's like a great feedback mechanism for me. When
Yeah,
people tell me, "Oh, I don't understand this. This is not clear enough," I'm like, "Okay, I just go on the course. Bam, I just redo it. Bam, I
right,
polish it off." You know, and then I
right.
see if people stop mentioning it. Okay, I fixed it. Next, next, next. Eventually, that's why like people like Alex Ramosi, they say just stick with one product. You know, one channel, one kind of avatar of like of the customer avatar, and just get that dialed in, right? Like ideally. A lot of people they're like, oh, I have 5 courses and 3 coaching and this and that, and then none of it is good enough, right? Versus somebody like me, I spent all my time just on this one course, one product, one support thing, one community, and that's it. I don't do anything else. I mean, outside of, developing ideas and and writing them down in my little to-doist, man, it's already like, pfft. Yeah, but it's all coming together though, you know. My vision for like this community and this product is kind of like like the Mercedes Benz, of DeFi onboarding for people of any skill level. If you're a
Yeah,
trader, if you're a crypto native, if you're just like a housewife, or like you're a pensioner that just wants to make money and they don't give a shit about crypto. They're like, crypto, I don't care, guy. How do I make $3,000 per month on this and do no work? Just tell me that.
yeah,
I don't care shit what you call it.
right.
Glimmer, Stella, blah, Dexes. I don't care. Like, I want no risk. I want put the money in and I want to collect once a month. That's it. Can you do that? I'm like, yes, I can do that. And that's
Right,
all they want to hear, you know? That's
right.
the holy grail of mass adoption, right? That's how you get people in. You got to give them kick-ass course that takes them by the hand and step by step. And you got to give them like this real-time support that I provide, which is basically like if people get confused, just write in the chat and I'll
Yeah,
tell you.
you've been
And
good
I'm
at
there.
that. Yeah,
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 like I
you've
got
been
that
doing
one
good at
out.
it.
Yeah, and then basically when we scale, when I have 1,000 people, 2,000, 3,000, then you just, get the AI in their chatbot, train the chatbot yourself. So you keep the quality high. Then you outsource to like, a call center or something and you train them with your scripts so that, it's the same quality. Once again, people, when they scale, they outsource, they lose the quality. That's their biggest mistake. Like, no, you have to keep the quality just as high, probably even higher than
Mm.
now, because you have like 10 people in the chat versus one. So train them and then basically control. So if that happens, I'll still be in the chat myself. If I see that like AI didn't answer the guy's question and my call center people like are being idiots and they just like not doing right, guess what? I'm gonna step in and I'll pick up the slack. I'm like the last line of defense. And then I'm gonna train these people, AI and call center, how to answer exactly right next time. And if they still don't get it, I'll fire their asses and hire different people that I'll train until they get it. And I'm gonna do it until I get it. And like that's I'm not gonna like, oh, okay, I just give up. No, like they're gonna get fired. you know. And that AI chatbot, if it's not doing a great job, I'm gonna kill it and get another one because there's like zillions of them nowadays. Shit, I'm watching a chatbot webinar tonight at 8 o'clock. This guy, he's making like 20 grand a day or something with chatbots, where they basically he added it to everything like sales pages, and he just sells them
Right.
automatic, and he does support and everything. I'm like, okay, let me sign up for that.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm already preparing, But don't worry, that's not coming for a long time. Not until I'm get like completely overwhelmed. I got like a couple of thousand people in that chat, so. You guys are gonna be getting the VIP concierge service this whole time. So, that's all good. I don't mind. Like I like doing it. It's okay. It's great for me too. I get direct input from my students, from my customers. They tell me what they like, don't like, what they want to see, like next things. I mean, like that idea for whole beefy and strategies add-on came from Michael Campbell in the chat. He was like, "Oh, Vadim, why don't you talk about this and this?" I'm like, "Okay, okay, that's what you guys want. Sure, I'll talk about it. Like I already gave you guys all the information, right? Like I shared the screen, I showed you how to do it. It's not
Right.
like super difficult, but if I want to put it into like a paid product, obviously I'm gonna have to go way deeper than that. Like I have to, do the research, arrange it so that everybody understands it, kind of do like a little theory, right, on the CLM, on the beefy thing, on the range selection, on the strategy, selecting different farms. Yeah, that's like a whole course in itself, technically. You could do a whole thing just on
Mm.
that, like the advanced version. So I'm still kicking about some ideas. I'm thinking how to do it properly. You know, I guess nobody else is coming to this thing, but that's okay. I don't care.
Well,
I'm gonna put it
I
up on the
appreciate,
chat. You
yeah,
know, I'm
right,
gonna put the recording on my YouTube channel, pin it to the chat, and I'm sure all the questions you asked, that's the same questions everybody else had. And plus, they do have the VIP like Telegram chat where they can ask me anything, anytime,
right,
which I answer anyway. So these
right,
things,
yeah,
I don't do them like every weekend. I basically,
right,
whenever I have like a new cohort of people coming in that are just starting, I do like 3 or 4 of those, like 4 weekends in a row. That picks anybody up, and then if somebody wants to ask questions, in the chat, they can do that. I mean, we don't really
right,
need this. This is more like a community building feedback thing for me. Like you still get the support. I mean, just Telegram alone
right,
is like plenty, plenty.
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I've been going through your past videos too, and watching those, and
yeah. So and
so
there's like 10 of them, I think. Yeah,
yeah,
like 20 hours of like questions and and
right.
then everything is searchable in the Telegram chat. You can actually
Right.
like if you have a question, you could just type in. And do you see that pinned guide that I put together on how to like go through the course?
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I put it into the
Yeah.
course itself in like the first lesson, if you notice the
Right.
description. Because a lot
Right.
of people weren't they didn't know how to like go through the course. They would just kind of try to like freestyle it. I'm like, no, 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 there's no freestyling here. Like
Right.
I give you step by step what to do. Like just
Yep.
follow exactly. And if I screw up somewhere in the step by step, you tell me, and I will fix it. And then the next person is gonna be already going nicely through it. And I literally just when we did that webinar with Brett, I went through the whole course. Like I updated everything, everything that I could, obviously, you know, and some things that I like. For example, the only thing I didn't update was the main constant liquidity thing, because the only thing that's different is they removed one step, which is the
Right.
staking. If you noticed, you don't
Taking
need to
right.
stake anymore.
Okay.
But
Right.
all the other instructions are still good.
Yeah.
It's just they made it simpler. They just removed one step. So
Yep.
just don't do it. you
Right.
know.
And
I
then
was
you could.
thinking if I should like cut it off, like from the video, the whole staking piece. But I was like, I just put it in the description. I just said the staking has been removed. Here's a link to the article that explains things, but there's no extra instructions. There's actually should be less because it's easier now. You know.
Right.
Yeah, and it's super
Yeah.
easy, right? Once you
Yeah. I've been
get
going
through
through.
it.
Yeah. I go through the articles and reread it, and then I watch your video, and then I just go step by step. So
Yeah, yeah, that's how
it's
you have to do it. It's kind of like you load the idea, the system is you load your brain first, you watch the whole video, your subconscious gets loaded with like the instructions, then you read the text, which is where the updated instructions are,
right.
because sometimes I modify the instructions in the video with the text, you know, and then
Okay.
with that, when you already have that loaded, you have the updated instructions, then you follow step by step, and then kind of if people are like, oh man, I'm confused, this, that. Then I dive into it and then I start dissecting the video and I re-record the video. And if the interface changes too much, yeah, like if you notice the Squid router, whole new interface. Like they
Mhm.
changed the whole thing. So I had to scrap it. And then basically, now that ETH is allowed in New York, I had a separate module which I cut, which was a whole separate New York only off ramp module, like module
Okay.
5.1. So I cut that off and I combined it. And I used to have wormhole bridge, which is like used by people in New York and Japan. Then I had Squid router used by everybody else. So I cut that off too. So now everything is like streamlined. So now I'm putting everybody. So there's only 2 routes now: Coinbase and base Squid router or
Right.
Binance. That's it.
Right.
If you have
Right.
access to Binance, you're one of the lucky ones. You just send Glimmer straight to Moonbeam from your CEX. Don't have to do anything. No bridges, no routers. I mean, if Coinbase would have Glimmer natively on Moonbeam, then I would just, cut the freaking Moonbeam router, the router lessons too. We don't need that anymore. But it's okay. It's fine. Like you tried it, right? It takes
Yes.
like
Yeah.
30
Yes.
seconds,
Good
20,
brother.
30 seconds,
Right. Yeah. That's
a
fine.
couple of like pennies, sometimes maximum like
Right.
50 cents, 40
Yeah.
cents. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
You
back
don't
in the
need
day
that
when I
long.
started this course, we only had wormhole bridge. It would take 45 minutes for one transaction, and it would cost $35 in
Right.
gas fees.
Right. You
Okay,
talk about
just
that on your other videos, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
just so you understand
Yeah.
how big pain of an ass it was. Now it's like boom, instant free Coinbase to base, like transfer, and then like couple of like 10, 20 cents and like 30 seconds, boom, you're already on Moonbeam. And it was a big problem when people didn't have Glimmer. So I had to manually send every student Glimmer
Hmm.
from my phone to their wallet. See, now I put an instruction where you swap the first $100 straight into
Right.
Glimmer
Right.
on Moonbeam. So that's your gas right there, $100 worth of gas. And then from there you can just just go, and then the
Right.
other way back. Yeah. So like I've streamlined the crap out of this thing. Like this has been I've been cutting, optimizing. Yeah, but it's good. Now all I need is the piece de resistance, the advanced module with the beefy automation and strategies, and like basically diversification strategies, like I explained to you, the range strategies. It's not super complicated, this stuff. I mean, once you get it, it's like riding a bicycle, right? I mean, it's like people are like, oh, it's so complicated. Then once I take them through it, they're like, oh shit, this was so easy. I'm like, yeah, but would you have the balls to do it without me though? No,
Right.
you wouldn't, right? Now that I
Yeah.
put you through, now that Vadim is there in the chat, he's there to support you, to like answer
Yeah.
any question,
You're the
you
safety
know
net. Yeah.
safety net, right? Like, there's always somebody to like, oh my God, where's my $10,000? It's
Yeah.
disappeared. I'm like, calm down, send me your wallet address. Let me check it out. I look into it. I'm like, oh, okay, your money is there. It's like, oh, okay. Now I'm good. Then they do it
Right.
2, 3, 4 times. Then it's like, oh, okay. Oh my God, it's so easy. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, because nowadays, I mean, I'm always keeping abreast of like the latest things. People don't buy courses, they buy experiences. They buy support, they buy comfort. That's what they get. Course is just like a tool that's there to make it easier for them. Kind of like my course. I update it, I keep it, up to date, and then you can use it as a reference, right? But if I would just sell you the course, you'd be too scared to use it because you're like, oh, what if I lose money? What if I do this? What if I do that? Yeah, even though it's really safe, there's no way really to lose money in this thing unless you like send it to the wrong address. That's the only way, or wrong network. That's it. That's the only way you can really lose money. Like if you're sending it to an address and you put in like a wrong number or wrong letter, yeah, you're screwed. Nobody's reversing that, guy. Remember, immutable blockchain as you're
Yeah.
your own bank. And,
Right. Right.
it cuts both ways. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
you did that. That's it. There's no help desk you can call. Like I had one guy send like $10,000 to wrong network, and yeah, I'm like, it's like, well, help me. I'm like, how do you expect me to do that? Like, I don't control the Ethereum, okay, guy? I don't control StellaSwap. I don't control
Right.
Polkadot. I don't control your wallet. I don't control anything. I'm just here to help. But
Yeah.
yeah, but that's rare though. I have it in my course, if you notice. Like I tell them, triple check every time. Just do it. Because
Right.
I've lost money myself like that. Just
Right.
send it to like fat fingered it and just send it to the wrong address, and I'm like, god damn it.
Right.
There's no way to get it back, but that's okay.
So I just copy that address onto a notepad and check it and then delete it. Is that
I
good
mean,
enough?
you could just copy and paste it. You could do that.
Yeah.
But you can also copy and paste it and just triple check the first four and last four.
Okay. Okay.
Usually that's what I do. Because I mean, if you copy and pasted it, if the last four and the first four are the same, then 99. But I mean, if you want to get really like paranoid, then yeah, just do that. You
Right.
know, it's just why people don't do that is, for example, if your computer is infected with like malware or some shit,
Right.
you
I
know,
was worried about
they
that.
they they
Yeah.
could they could see your screen
See it.
potentially and kind of write
Okay.
down. Although it doesn't matter because these are public addresses. As long as you don't do that with your seed phrase, you're good to
Right.
go. The
Yeah.
address is public. I mean, you
Yeah.
could copy and paste it in the public square. Nobody cares. You want to send
Yeah.
me money? Go ahead. You want to send
Right.
me crypto? Okay, I'll post it in Times Square.
Right.
Please do. Please send it, right? Like, I don't
Right.
care. Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's been some instances where some people got like this malware, and then the guy was sending it, so he pasted the right address, and then the guy changed the address, like literally before he pressed the button to send on his Trezor, you know, which is the protection against that is if you have a Trezor wallet or a ledger,
I do.
check the address on the screen of the
Okay.
Trezor before you
Okay.
authorize it, because that one
Okay.
is going to display the legit one. you know? And then you see, and you're like, wait a sec. No, I'm not, I was supposed to send to that one, but it's displaying some other crap. Well, if that's the case, just have malware bytes installed on
Right.
your PC.
Yeah, I have a separate laptop that I just do my crypto on. So
To be honest, that's
yeah.
too much. As long as
Okay.
like you don't do like stupid shit like clicking
Right.
like spam links and downloading some weird software from weird sites where they can put malware
Right.
on your computer. And even if you do that, if you have malware bytes, which is the best, like software for that, it detects all of it in real time. So there's
Okay.
gonna be some kind of fuckery going on. Like you'll be like
Right.
up, you know, malicious activity detected, and then it just quarantines and that's it, and just kills you.
Right.
You know.
Yeah,
I
I've
was
got
like,
Nord, I've got my VPN, I've got
yeah, yeah,
CC
yeah.
Cleaner, and
I
then
mean,
that's it.
I used to use ExpressVPN, and it's good. You'll get the job done. But nowadays I just use Proton VPN just because I have like their Proton mail service. That's Vadim at nextleveldefi.com. That's hosted there, you know. Because I like Google, nothing wrong with Google, but I don't want to depend on everything on Google. That's why I like Proton, VPN and mail because it's like it's guaranteed transparent. They're in Switzerland. They don't keep any logs. It's like there's no tracking, no nothing. It's like super solid. Yeah, if you wanna like support proper business practices, like Proton VPN is the place to be. Super like
Prime.
ethical. Yeah, they're like the benchmark for like confidentiality. Yeah. And
Okay.
it's all like encrypted out the wazoo. I mean, it's like there's nobody's tracking that. Nobody's hacking in there. And there's so much security there. Like, that's why I'm like, okay. Even though I have like 4 other Gmail boxes that I use for other things, right? Like, signing up webinars and this and that, but the Vadim at nextleveldefi.com, that's hosted on ProtonMail. That's what I use, the premium service. And it's pretty cheap. For like $14 a month, they give you the VPN and email. And
That's
and
good.
and Proton Drive, which is like kind of like a Google Drive type of deal. And I think they also have Docs, but don't call me on that one. But you definitely get those three: the VPN, email, like premium email with your own domain and everything, and the Proton Drive, which is the encrypted like Google Drive. I think it's like you get like 10 gigs or something. But they have different tiers if you want. Like
Sure.
you can go as fancy as you want, enterprise and shit and all that, or I mean, I just don't like being dependent because basically freaking Google killed my whole music collection. That's my pet peeve with them. Because like when the whole thing, I mean, I don't want to get into it because I'm gonna put this up later on YouTube. But I made like a comment about the thing that was happening for 3 years. I don't want to mention the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about, right? And because of that one comment, they basically deleted my whole like channel, my whole account where I had all my music on, from like 170 playlists that I put together manually over like 15 years, and they just killed it, and I don't have it anymore. Because, like, freaking Apple screwed me because they upgraded their shit, and I lost my iPods, and yeah, I still have all the music, obviously.
Right.
Like, but I don't have the playlists.
Playlist.
The
Yeah.
playlists where the real, like, gems. I can get the music. It's not a problem, right? I can
Right.
buy it, this, that. But, like, the playlist, man, and I still can't, and I can't recover it. And
Right.
my account is still locked with Google. They have it. They have it. They have my playlist, and for the past 5 years, they just like they locked me off, or 3 years, or whatever it is. Still pisses me off. I'm like, you bastards. After that, I was like, all right, so I'm gonna have to do something else for my business. I'm gonna go with Proton Mail now, and just I know
Good
those
to
people are not
know.
gonna lock me out of my account and censor me and whatever. That's not their jam at all. They're
Right.
like they're nonprofit in Switzerland, very like pro. They even had like FBI like come after them and kind of like to open up the accounts and do tracking. But what they do is smart. They just don't track. No logs, no nothing. And so even if the law enforcement does come, they're like, we just don't have it. It's
Yeah.
just not there. Like,
There.
what are you gonna
Yeah.
enforce, guy? Like, I don't have it. There's no logs. Like, we're not keeping
Right.
logs. It's
Right.
it's zero log policy, and that's
That's
it.
awesome.
You know that way. That's the only way to do it. Because yeah, if you don't do that, they're gonna force you. Like they did with Telegram. Like that guy got jailed for like 3 days, and they're like, listen, you need to, play ball. And he started playing ball. So it's okay. That's why you signal.
Yeah.
On my calls, I use signal, prod mail. I'm not a big believer in all that. Yeah, man. Yeah,
All
that's
right, madam.
that's
Well, I
kind of
appreciate it. Yeah, you answered all my questions. I mean, you
yeah,
know,
great.
um, so I've got 1K each to play with, and I've got some more reserves. I'm kind of rolling in.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, what you should do
yeah,
is like what I always tell my students is don't start like big right away.
right,
Kind of, you can even start with $100, like no
right,
risk at all. Like it's $100, a couple of meals, and that's it,
yeah,
right? You can even start with $20 if you really want to be like
yeah,
super, oh, I don't want to take any risk. Okay, start with $20, guy. I mean, whatever, And that's the thing with DeFi. There's no like limit. There's no upper limit, no lower limit. You could put in as much as you want, right? And or as little as you want and kind of just get the muscle memory in, and that way you kind of get a feel for it. Because the math is easy. I mean, whatever you're getting on $100, if you want to put 10,000, obviously you just multiply that, and that's it. And you're getting that.
right,
Obviously, it's gonna be a little less because if like there's other people in the pool, and you're kind of competing with them, you might get
right,
less. Or somebody gets into the pool, but overall, you kind of see the math. That's what they're like. People are like, oh, StellaSwap is showing the wrong API. I'm like, just calculate it yourself, guy. It's not like calculus math here. It's not that hard. You see how much money you put in. You see how much money you're getting per month. That's your
right.
yield.
That's
Simple
you.
math. Take that, multiply, divided by whatever you put in, times 100. There's your monthly yield, right?
Right,
Times 12.
right.
That's your APY. I mean, it's like third grade math. I mean, it's not, it's not like trading where it's like, oh, you have to calculate all the stops and this and that and,
Yeah,
strategies. No, this is like way simpler. That's
right.
why when I was thinking, what should I make? What should I teach people? I'm like, should I teach them trading? And which is a breast job. I mean, good luck to him. Like I was like, nah, I'm good. I think this is way easier to understand, way less risk, way less work. Because right, once you did it, like, do you
Yeah,
really have to do anything? You can just leave it and
yeah,
just check it once a week, and like, and if you do the beefy thing, then you don't have to do anything at all. Because
right.
beefy keeps it in range, collects your rewards, puts the rewards back, and that's it. So you don't
Yeah,
really got anything to do. I mean, once
you're right.
I, add this thing, this little mini course, like kind of like the final piece of the puzzle, which is the automation, ranges, and all that, which I'm
Well,
still thinking how to like best to do it, in terms of marketing, in terms of like upsell. Should I make it just available for free? Just put it all into one course and raise the price on the main course. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it, consulting with people, whatever. But
sure.
I'll have it available either
Yeah,
way, one way or
it'll be
another.
fair.
Either it's gonna be free or it's gonna be like $200-300, nothing
Right.
crazy, and then I'll have like my high ticket item, which is what I was talking about, which is the crazy 10 ways, 20 ways. I might even give people like a whole menu of like 45 ways to make passive income, and you can choose top 10 or top 8 that you want. Like, oh, I like this. I like this Bitcoin mining here. I like this. I like this liquidity on centralized exchanges. I like this. Man, I went to WebinarCon. I mean, talked to this one guy who's doing 68% per year return on options. He's doing option income with a 98% hit rate. This
Wow.
guy, this guy is an ex-Marine, nuclear physicist. He worked on a submarine. He basically, worked all that shit out. And I'm like, huh, maybe I should ask that as the next level options,
Yeah.
and have that. That way I can cover both TradFi and DeFi, because I
Mhm.
mean, I can do both. I know how to do both. I mean, I did finish NYU with a finance degree, so I'm not exactly like a TradFi newbie here, I just kind of moved away from that. But if you're getting 68% APY on options,
Yeah.
pretty much with 98%, that's basically like guaranteed.
Right.
Then and this guy's been doing it for years. He has the stats and everything. And so I'm like, so he's like, yeah, if you want, we can make a deal and you'll upsell it. So I can sell somebody Next Level DeFi, and then next page be like, oh, do you want to get you know low stress options? That's his course. Well,
Right.
obviously I'll rebrand it to Next Level options. I'm like, for like extra $500, and it doesn't cost me anything because I'm not gonna be filling that. He's gonna be take care of that, right?
Right.
Like
Right.
so it's like a simple
Awesome.
upsell. It's like, oh, you want DeFi and TradFi? I got you. Like,
Right.
you want another 10
Yeah.
ways to freaking do this? I got you. You want lending? No problem. You know. Yeah, I mean,
Great.
people told me I should have done lending course instead of yield farming, liquidity mining, because it's two pieces of the puzzle. Like liquidity mining and lending, those are like the two biggest ways. That's what combines kind of yield farming. There's also staking, but that doesn't really count because that's kind of more like security, providing security for the blockchain. So it's a little different. I don't staking is a separate thing, which is also good. Yeah. I mean, so anyway, yeah, but like all these things, man. I
Awesome.
gotta focus though. I gotta
That's
focus. I
good,
gotta
man.
get this one thing kicking ass,
Yeah.
because that's the ticket. Then when you have one thing, I can apply my system to kind of the next thing. Next level
Right.
options, same support, probably a different channel, or maybe I don't know, maybe the same channel. Maybe people in the same chat are gonna be doing options income and liquidity mining and lending. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
why not? That's three separate. Yeah, and I checked out his stuff. He basically teaches how to do option trading, option income stuff on Robinhood, which is like super legit, right? Like, and you're doing it on stocks that are like on Nasdaq. So, and there's actually a $300,000 insurance on your account at Robinhood and
Right.
Schwab,
Yeah.
Thinkorswim. So your money is insured, which is, I mean, it's not decentralized technically, but come on, your chances of losing money in a SIPC insured, you know, Robinhood or Thinkorswim, which is Schwab account in US are very, very low. I mean, like extremely low. If that happens, then money is not going to be a problem for you. It's going to be, guns and ammo and like food,
Right.
and gold and
Right.
shit and like
Well,
survivalist things,
water.
If that
Right.
if that happens, nobody cares about money. Money is not going to be valid anymore. Or even maybe Bitcoin for that sense, because
Yeah.
once it gets Mad Max style Armageddon
Right.
thing, yeah, I could just take your Bitcoin and take your money and
Yeah.
take your food and everything as long as I got a big ass gun in my
Yeah.
hand and 10 guys behind me with even bigger guns. But obviously we're not heading that direction. Trump
Right.
and the team and they're
Right.
gonna kick ass and I think we're entering like the golden age of
Yeah.
DeFi and
Yeah.
crypto. So which is I'm right there selling the shovels
Oh,
by the side of the road. See?
yeah.
Like that's where I put all my money in. I didn't invest in like Bitcoin and this. I invested in this, in the shovel business, where I'm like,
Gotcha.
oh, you guys will all learn how to do liquidity mining, and there's millions of you. Okay, I'm right here. Come on up to my little side of the road shack. I got
Right.
next level DeFi for you. I got next level options for all of you who don't believe in crypto. That's kind of my vision, but we'll see. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens. Maybe
Yeah. The
Coinbase will
future.
buy me. You know, they'll be
Right.
like, oh, all right, this guy seems to be doing a good job. What is it, 20 mil? All right, here you go. Like, I'll be like, okay, shit.
Yeah.
Can I get equi hired as well? I'll take a couple of million a year in salary and just work for Coinbase. I don't mind working for the man as long as the payment
Good payment.
terms
Right.
are correct. But
I
anyway,
know
I
you're
guess
doing
nobody
good,
else is
man.
joining us. So
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. Future's bright. I mean, the biggest thing I'm
yeah,
taking away is the velocity of money, because
yeah,
I've been investing in the old school stuff with the stocks and the IRAs and
yeah. That's
you
that's
know,
not that's not gonna get you to the
it
passive
it
income
don't it
machine
don't
you're
go
in.
nowhere, right?
Nah, it don't go anywhere.
It doesn't go
It's like a
anywhere.
safety thing, and even the
Right.
safety thing is debatable.
Right.
Like some people lost their ass in the stock market. I mean, come on.
Right. Up and
Like
down.
it's not like there's no risk there. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's less risky. But is it though? Is it?
Right.
Like at
Yeah.
least when you get risk, you get reward, right? There you
Right.
get risk and no reward. It's like, what? What the hell am I doing here then? Like, especially with
Right.
inflation at like what, like 15, 18%. It's
That's,
not
yep.
2%. Get out of here with
No.
that bullshit. I know how to count. I see the price at the store. What do you think? I'm dumb?
Price
Like,
eggs. Yeah.
but like, yeah, you go to like, you see the price of like eggs tripling.
Yeah.
Does that look like 3% inflation to you, guy?
Yeah.
No. Like, so you're getting 15, 20% inflation, but you're giving me 5% at the bank. And that's now they're giving 5%. Before
Right.
it was 0.01%
One
for like 20
pennies.
years. Yeah, of course. As soon as I started doing this, they raised it to 5%. And now they raised the interest rates and all that. Like, gee,
Right.
great, thanks. Like,
Right.
which is okay. I don't care if it's 5%. So what?
Yeah.
You still get 30% on stables, 50% on blue chips, and like 300% on like this, other coins. So
Right.
I don't
It's
care. I'll compete.
and my friends are finally starting to get it. They're like, okay, it is. It's,
About
because I'm
time.
the last
Shit.
of the boomers, but they're finally like, oh, all right, it's
Yeah,
making
yeah.
sense now.
That's the
So
biggest market for me. It's like, boomers, pensioners, people that want to put their money to work and actually get some measurable income from that.
right.
Not just, because they can't really depend on just social security. Like, what is that, like 1,300, 1,400 a month? What the hell is
Yeah.
this? You can't even pay rent with that. Like,
Right. Yeah. I don't.
what? Like, what
Yeah.
is this? How am I supposed to survive on 1,300 bucks a month? Like, are you serious? That's like my
Right.
phone bill, cable bill, this, that, electricity, like gas. I didn't even get the rent with that. It's like, come on
Right.
now. Yeah,
Plus, I'm
people.
I'm
Yeah.
yeah, I'm self-employed, so it's always kind of
Yeah,
been up to me to figure things out, which sometimes
yeah,
it works,
same
sometimes it
here.
doesn't, but
Yeah,
this is good. I love it. It's good.
nice.
I
Thanks.
like it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Yeah,
see why like everybody's not doing this. To be honest, like I don't
right,
get it. It's like
right.
really, like you can at least put it in the stable farms and just get 30% a year, like
Yeah,
as a minimum, like a dumb proof, whatever, like idiot proof, like kind of scenario. Just do that. If you do nothing else, just do the stable farms at least. Do lending so that 23%. No risk. You just lend out your like USDC, and that's it to
right,
somebody, and somebody puts up 100, I think 40% collateral in Bitcoin or Ethereum. So like you don't care. So as soon as he defaults, you actually get 40% more than you lent him. You know that, right? You
right.
actually make money on that. So if the guy defaults, you want him to default. That's actually great.
Huh,
Like he'll
wow.
just give you like 40% more money that he took from you. Great. Plus whatever interest he paid you on top of that. And it's all automatic. Like he can't, the SBF actually paid down a lot of the and Mashinsky, they paid down all the Avi loans. You know that,
Right,
right? Because if they
right.
wouldn't pay, they would get smashed for another 40%.
But then,
See? So they
yeah,
didn't screw the Avi holders. They actually
yeah,
paid. I was
yeah,
like, hell yeah. See?
yeah.
That was the real DeFi. Even through the bear and through the SBF thing, FTX, nobody
Right,
lost a penny with DeFi, with
yeah,
lending and liquidity mining. Yeah, you can
right,
lose money if you go super risky and you take crazy risks. Yeah, like anything else, like
right,
stocks, like you know anything. If you go crazy, you can lose money. Yeah, there's no guarantees unless you're in stable farms. Then you're pretty much like just bored and collecting, which is the place where I want to get to. When I have enough money, I'm just gonna put all of it in like stable farms and lending, and just do nothing. Just check once a month. Like adjust some ranges just to tighten it up to get more money, and that's it. Just sit on the beach and look at my phone, of all the
right.
deposits that are coming in, like ding, 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 ding.
Right.
I got my core sales going here. I got my liquidity mining over here. I got my crypto lending over here. Ah, okay. I have no stress. What stress? What is that? I forgot about that. Well, you remind me again? What's that? Job? Salary? Boss firing you? I don't know about that. I'm sorry, I can't relate. You know? Yeah, but it's okay.
Uh,
I got plenty of stress this last 5 years, building this startup thing. Now
yeah,
now that I cracked it though, like now I understand how to do it. Conferences were the key. I gotta go to business conferences because
right.
people don't trust me online. I look young. They get online. They're like, this guy, oh, what are you trying to scam? DeFi this? And I'm like, no. I'm literally like teaching you the opposite.
Yeah,
Like, like no. But I get it. I get it. I mean, I see where they're coming from. They understand liquidity mining is pretty complex. Now that you went through the course and you saw what it is, now you understand what it is. It's not that hard. Like now it's like, oh, okay, I just lent out the money to traders through dexes, and they just pay me fees. Done. Like one sentence explanation. But people are like, what is this? That sounds complicated. I'm like, no, it's not. You just become a decentralized market maker, which is what they
right.
do at the like regular exchanges, Nasdaq,
Right.
New York Stock Exchange. Like, oh, okay, I get that. I'm like, so it's the
Yeah,
same thing. Only instead of stocks, it's tokens, and instead of these big market making companies, it's you with your money, and you're making
right.
the fees instead of them. What's wrong with that? Like that's great.
Yeah.
Screw them. Like yeah, because they're actually forbidden from doing market maker. All the big companies, they're
Okay.
not allowed to do DEX liquidity because it's
Okay.
not it's not regulated, so they can't do it.
Gotcha.
But we
Gotcha.
can though. So like for
Right.
now we have this like advantage, over other
Yeah.
people, especially on Moonbeam, because nobody knows about Moonbeam. Why do you
Right.
think I chose Moonbeam and StellaSwap? Because it's like a well
Right.
hidden secret. How many people that know about StellaSwap or even
Yeah.
Polkadot?
I didn't. I know
Right?
Polkadot, but I know Polkadot
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
obviously,
but
but
Polkadot has like 100
yeah.
parachains on it,
Right.
and with
Right.
like zillion dexes. And then
Yeah.
even if you know about it, how many people know how to do liquidity mining on Moonbeam?
Yeah.
Right? Not too many. Yeah, so
Yeah.
spread the word, if
Okay.
you know somebody that wants it, I pay $200 per referral. I don't just say
Okay.
thank you. Yeah, like
Okay.
because my product is legit. Like you've done
Right.
it yourself. So I
Right.
don't have to convince you that the service is good. So that's why a lot of
Right.
people they come like, "Oh, I only have money to buy your course, but I don't have money to put in the farms." I'm like, "Just buy the course, learn it, as I said in the
Yeah.
webinar, and then you can refer people to the course. Do nothing else. I pay you $200. You put that in the farms, or you can actually do that and coach them, like in person, because I don't have
Right.
time for that. Go to their
Okay.
house, sit with them, coach them, and charge them 2, 3K. That's not scalable for me, but my students, go ahead. So that's already two sources of income. Like
Right.
and like you already know how to do it. You can probably coach somebody right now. Just go to your friend's house and be like, "You want me to show
Right.
you how to make 100% a year on your money?
Yeah.
All right, pay me a K, pay me 2K, and I'll show you." And then you show him, and the guy will be like, "Thank you," you know?
Right.
Yeah, and be like, "Oh, and if you want a reference and you want a step by step, I'll coach you and buy this thing for a
Right.
K, and
Right.
I'll kick you back 200 off of that, plus whatever
Yeah.
you charge the guy." And there
Yeah.
you go. Then you take that money, put it in the farms. I mean,
Okay.
I might even do like a DeFi coach like program, later, like a certification thing or something like that.
Okay.
I think that could be big. Like somebody
Yeah.
who just wants to learn how to do this and like teach other people, like coach others for money. Like, all these coaches online. Why
Right.
not? So they become
Right.
my affiliate. They become a DeFi coach. I'll give them a little certification. I don't know. I'm still kicking the idea about, but it makes sense to me because I mean, if I wanted to get the money quick, I'll be doing it. But I'm too busy like building out all
Sure.
these things and affiliates and that and that. It's like it's a lot. But
Right.
because a lot of people are like, oh, why don't you do coaching? Why don't you do this? I'm like, well, because that would take away the time from me giving you guys this customer support, building out the course, updating it, doing business development, traveling,
Right.
that all takes time. I only got 12 hours in a day. I'm not a like magician. Yeah, well, yeah. Once I have a team of like 5, 7 people, which is the next step for me. Once I have it all dialed in, everything works. I know every single piece. Then I'm gonna start like outsourcing, hiring chief of staff, a team, developers, like yeah. Then maybe I'll do some. I will do coaching in that high ticket program that I'll make, you know,
Mhm.
where
Mhm.
like the format I'm thinking is I'm gonna do like 8 sessions, one session every Sunday for like 2 hours, like a live Zoom session, not recorded, and then I record it, and each session will be like one way to make money passively. I'll do like a little
Okay.
presentation for like 30 minutes, then I'll show people how to like do it, in live,
Right.
and then do a Q&A and do this like 8 weekends in a row, basically, and then I'll take all the recordings, put them together like a little mini course, and I'll give it to people as well, as a reference guide, you know, like, yeah, I think that will make sense, then you're like, oh, I got 8 ways to make money
Perfect.
now, like, which is the
I'm
next
in,
evolution kind of,
I'm
and
in the
probably
right spot. I know. So
yeah,
I'm in
yeah,
the right spot.
I
I
mean,
love
there's
it.
other people doing this, but because
Yeah.
I went to like this conference and I met them all, and they're all doing a different thing. They're all doing this coaching thing. They're all charging $8,000 to $10,000 for like they give you one dedicated coach, and they give you like they basically put a fire hose in your face and they slam you with like 10 different farms, 20 dexes, lensing, this, and I'm like, no, beginners don't wanna get overwhelmed like that. They don't. Plus, they don't only pay $10,000. Like screw that. It's
Yeah.
people that want to pay 10,000, it makes sense to give them like my type of thing, which is super comfortable, super simple, one thing, get uncomfortable. Then upsell them on the little advanced module, which shows them how to, do beefy strategies, ranges. And then those that want it within that same chat can, do like a cohort, like, 10 spots only, like 10 people, paying like 5K each for this, like, format, live format, like the cohort based format. For those that really want to get like deep into it and they have the money, like maybe some guy has like $500,000 and he wants to put it to work. StellaSwap is not gonna be enough for him. He's gonna want, some enterprise level shit. Like,
Right.
he's gonna want some serious like stuff, like, custodial solutions and, split it into 8 different pieces on 8 different completely like other ways, yeah. And I'm sure there are people like that out there. It's just I can't really do all of it at once. I have to kind of do
Sure.
this step by step, that,
Yeah.
then that, then that, and then when everything is built and I'm comfortable, then I build a team and I up the service even more, start
Right.
doing content because I've been bad at that. I've been trying to go through this Founder OS thing where they taught me how to do organic content and build personal brand, but I just don't have the time. Like, I'm too busy doing JVs and going to conferences and making money. Like, but I will be doing that now that I have their system. Is this guy Matt Gray? He's like the fastest growing guy on LinkedIn. He's like growing like crazy. So yeah, all he does is organic content. That's how he makes his money. He makes like $30 million a year just organic content. I'm like, okay, that's the way. But me, I'm gonna do all of it. Organic content, JVs, paid ads, solo ads. Like I'll have like 7 sales channels. Hey, when you're going to sell the company, you don't want to have just one channel, which depends on you as a personal brand. You want to have
Exactly.
7 channels, which are automated, and then you put some guy into your videos, from the people that buy your business, and you kind of transition the personal brand to that
Right.
guy. You
Just
know.
make an AI avatar. That's all you
Yeah,
need.
yeah, that's what they do now. Yeah, I've seen that. I don't know about the whole AI thing. That's why I double down on the service that I'm giving, because AI can't give that type of VIP service like I'm doing. Like good luck replacing me with my custom answers to every question with AI. Yeah, you're not there yet. Okay, I'm sorry. Like it's not happening for you. Maybe another 5 years. No, but it's a good compliment. Like later, I will add an AI chatbot to the thing, train it myself, make sure it answers like 90% of the questions, and then the other 10% I'll answer myself. I'll be like, first, ask the AI chatbot. If the chatbot gives you a good answer, great, awesome. You rate it 1 to 10. We'll tune the bot more. But if no, then you just type human, and like I'll be on the chat. I'll be in the chat anyway. I'll see everything, so it doesn't matter. I'm just thinking when there's like thousands of people, how to scale this thing, right? Because I can't answer 1,000 questions myself. That's just ridiculous. That's not gonna work. Obviously, you need a team for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, but
Okay, brother. I appreciate you.
man, thanks
Thank
thanks
you.
for coming, and I'll
Yeah.
have this recording up for everybody else in the group. I think we covered everything that they
Yeah.
wanted to know. So you kind of represented the community on this call, but it's okay. I'll do like
Okay.
another 2 3 calls like this, in the next weeks. It's okay. Maybe more people will join, but if not, it's good content for the YouTube channel anyway, and for other people to check it out. All right, man. Have a
All
great
right.
weekend.
Thank you, Vlad.
I'll talk to you in the chat
Okay. All right.
later.
Bye.